Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to episode 167B of Tales with TR. I'm your host, Terry Ryan. We're now available on YouTube under THPN, the Hockey Podcast Network. Go check it out. This podcast and many more entertaining sports podcasts. Apologies for the delay. We'll get into it in a little bit. I'll explain exactly why we're a day late and why we don't have Jason Gregor. But what we do have, we have back an awesome guest, very popular. Here we go, ladies and gents. It's the man, the legend, the actor, the goalie, the musician, the father, the husband, the friend, the Canadian, the teammate, and soon-to-be co-host, Ryan McDonell. McD, how the hell are you doing?
I'm great, buddy. I am so fantastic. Okay, before we even start here, is this a video format?
Yeah, so I just started putting them on YouTube. Maybe I don't know.
Amazing.
Like
I would have cleaned up a little more.
I peppered a couple in. Oh, you look great. I peppered a couple in the spring, and for some reason, like a lot of people listen to mine for audio. Like I get great numbers with audio, but there's enough. I guess each one of these, a few have had over 1,000. There's enough people that enjoy it that send me messages, and I figure why not? I got a camera in my computer, right?
Well, this whole DraftKings, the whole setup, it looks great.
Well, it is good for my sponsors too, because at least again, you build numbers. I built 3 years or 2.5 years of not having anything outside of just audio. So that's what people are used to, and I think when people listen to mine, they're not really. I guess there are podcasts like Joe Rogan.
No, it seems to be the trend.
Right? Huge.
It seems to be the trend.
Yeah, so I like to have it as an option.
Yeah.
There is something to it.
I watch a lot of them on YouTube.
Yeah, there is something to it.
It's interesting. Yeah, when you see a face and you get to know the interview a little better. Like I don't know, not that anyone wants to look at my mug, but it's one of those things. Like I watch tons. I don't even know where to start, but like, Andrew Santino, like Whiskey Ginger. Have you ever heard of that? Hey Babe, like, I used to watch Joe Rogan, but I think
here and there. Anything with a good guest. And Rogan, I hate every time I say that people think I'm this far right. No, I like Rogan on that side. I like Bill Maher on the other side because they have people on and they actually have conversations. Like I don't bother with much news. I mean, I do follow the news, kind of both sides.
Actually, you know what? Keese and old Captain Keese and my buddy Art Deco, musician, just sent me one that's Bill Burr with Josh Holmes from
nice.
Queens of the Stone Age that just came out today. And I was like, he's listening to it like probably right now. And he was like, oh my God, you guys got to listen to this. Like,
deadly.
I love Queens of the Stone Age. It was one of the greatest shows I've ever seen.
I hear that. And I was late to that party.
They're fucking awesome.
They are deadly. Even like,
they are awesome live.
Even like a full album, there's not many I don't like. I just got into them. I could rattle off
Songs for the Deaf is like incredible.
Name me some of their big songs.
Oh my God, you're gonna stump me. Mean, Go with the Flow is like huge.
Okay, wait. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, the first one that came to your mind. Okay, when we were in Sudbury, we're out on one of those nights.
Mm-hmm.
Remember the very, very late, and it was.
Remember late?
Well, no, it was late in our tenure there because this would be the end of season 2, and we went down to a place, and it was almost like Chuck E. Cheese or Dave and Buster's.
Oh yeah.
Remember that? It was, and we didn't even know it was there.
Yeah.
Well, I went back there the next night, and the girl serving was into the Queens of the Stone Age, and Go With the Flow was what caught my ear. And then when I listened, I'm like, oh, this is good rock and roll. This is pretty. I just didn't really know. I ignored it. I know they're a bit of a super group, but I didn't know what they were all about until then.
The members kind of rotate a little bit, like because, like I think But just there's all this information that just came out. Like he just had an interview. He was talking about how he had a meth addiction, and you're like, holy shit, you're on tour, like.
Hey,
Meth,
speaking of that,
but,
my favorite meth song, Third Eye Blind, Semi-Charmed Life.
Oh yeah.
So we were here. They were here for George Street Fest.
Okay, I was gonna ask you about George Fest.
The bass player, fucking Alex LeCavier, sends me a message. He loves Shores, and he's like, "Do you want tickets?" So I'm like, "Fuck
no
yeah!"
way.
Yes. So he goes, "How many do you want?" And I was like, I just blurted out 6. I don't know what I could have said.
6.
Normally I just say 2, but then I'm he asked me how many. This is huge. All my buddies are going to want to go. I got to bring my dad. So,
oh my god,
because Dad fucking loves it, right? Dad doesn't go down every Friday anymore. But he used to go every Friday to the. Oh, sorry about that. Go ahead.
No, but he loves the live shows. Like, does he love Third Eye Blind or?
Yeah, but Third Eye Blind and live shows. But he loves Third Eye Blind.
No way.
He has every album. He can rattle off.
Way.
Oh, he's right into them. Yeah. So,
okay.
Big time. He has some vinyl down there. Like, he'll tell me more about Third Eye Blind than I already know. I'm telling you. Like, when he gets into an album and a band. So normally when I say we go to Seniors on Fridays, then we would go downtown. But he doesn't go downtown as much anymore, although it does happen. But it takes a live show or some kind of event. So I tell him about this, and I take my buddies, Cody and Connor Donaghy, hockey players. Cody just left.
I was following your stories, buddy.
Yeah. And Sandman was here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot
and his whole family too, right?
Yeah, Sandman's whole family. I forget that I put so much out on the stories. And anyway, we went and hung out with them afterwards. And Senior just had a great time. And sure enough, he was telling them stories. Like, me and my buddies just sat back, just in awe. Like, how does this guy that got drafted in 1972 own this conversation? Like it's Third Eye Blind.
So I heard, like, years ago when I was working at a bar, there was this customer that would come up all the time, and he was like a regular. He'd sit he'd sit there, and he like would just talk about Third Eye Blind all the time.
Okay.
As if there was something that was very like mystique and what's the word I'm looking for here? But like as if they were like one of the most kind of like unknown bands of the world or something like that.
Well, they have.
He was writing a movie script based on something that they did, or some meta thinking thing. Like I don't even know, but I was like, what is this band that special? Like what's going on here? But he had
they have a cult following on top of having a few worldwide like #1 smash hits.
Yeah,
but now that being said, those Jared Kiso, is huge, right? So he told me one of his favorite bands ever and got him through high school on a positive. I swear to you. And I'm going, what? And he pointed out like 6 songs. I knew the albums, I'd had them, but it's so long ago, and like one.
There's that one song that's like boom, boom, boom,
yeah,
that one rocks. That's a great
I think
song.
Faster. Hold on, just wait. Here's
something like that.
So, but Kiso's.
I think I'm mixing Rage Against the Machine with Bulls.
I think you might be. I think you might. Hold on, though. I forget the album. So obviously you got the Third Eye Blind, or the self-titled album with Semi-Charmed Life. This one, Out of the Vein. That's it. Out of the Vein, 2003.
Out of the Vein. Yeah.
So this,
that's a good album.
Remembered it, but it had been years. It had been. So my favorite on it is the first song in the album, Faster. But anyway, it had been years because I used to just spin them in my car in my CDs, and it doesn't. Now I get in, and some of it's Spotify, some of it's podcasts, and it inspired me to go back and listen to my CDs. So I have thousands of them, and I.
No, but hold on. Do you have the spinner thing like in your car where you could put like 30 CDs in there? Or
honestly, I just got rid of it. I didn't get rid of it. It's still, but I used it right up until Now my Jeep just came, and the Jeep.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's 3 years old, but whoever it was in front of me, had a special CD player put in. So I just put I got a case now, 60 at a time, those big cases, because I hated parting with the actual CD. Remember you could get like an album, and no, not an album, like a photo album, and they just take the CD out in the cover. But I hated parting with the whole
number it is.
So I put them in slots, and I have 60 at a time, and I just go down and
60.
rotate them. Yeah. And I put them in the back of my car.
Manual, like Apple Music.
Yeah, but what's happening is that
you listen to
we're all victims of this quick fix. So I used to get an album and just listen to it, like anybody would in the 90s or early 2000s. I'd get out, I'd put the CD in, and I would listen to it. So I think that's when I say like I love Green Day, a lot of that is because I listened to all their albums, because I would like some of it, and then a lot of it would resonate with me. It's why I know so much Blue Rodeo.
Yeah.
When I say I'm speaking for a lot of people.
Blue Rodeo, good call.
Now I might, they're another band. It's great albums, but they're not all released.
So good.
You might go to a concert and hear Rose-Colored Glasses and Till I Am Myself Again, but on those albums there are great songs that, unless you want to unearth them, they really won't be ever listened to, because they don't last on the classic stations. And a lot of bands
that's true, eh?
Yeah, that's what I mean. So we kind of know these songs. Like I could tell you, like say Penny Lane, she would know even like Enter Sandman. Like that's a song that gets played at every sports event and everything. When I show her and I know I'm saying heavy metal to a little girl, but let's say, I don't know, Shania Twain. Okay, for either one, she would know their hits, but we would know, and I'm not even really into Shania Twain. I am into Metallica. But the other stuff, to me, it fades in my head whether it was a hit or not, because I listened to it. Green Day, I just realized she is not a hit. When I say hit, it used to be tabulated. There was a way to tabulate it. Now, I guess.
Yeah.
And now it's not like the album. If I hear something like someone who's good from Atlantic Canada, Jeremy Fisher, he has one of my favorite.
Oh God, what's that one guy? Okay, anyway, go on. I'll remember it. But
Cocaine Cowgirl, Matt Mays.
Yeah, that guy. That is exactly the song that I was just thinking of.
Yeah, he played. So he opened up for Third Eye Blind that night, which was great.
In George Street Festival?
Yeah, in the George Street Fest. He opened.
Oh,
George Street Fest is 9 days straight of it's 3 per day.
That's a great song.
It's usually a local at 5, and then 7 is someone like Matt Mays is more than reputable, and then but fairly local, and then it'll be a banger like Third Eye Blind or whoever, right? And then you got your Newfoundland night and your country night.
Great Big Sea played, right? Because I saw
Alan Doyle played from Great Big Sea. Played a bunch of their songs. They're broken up, but they're peppering in some shows here and there coming up. They seem to still be buddies, and I'm hearing there's going to be a big reunion thing, but I can't speak for them. I'm just going by running into Alan Doyle here and there, seeing what he's got going on the go. Used to go to see Alan Doyle. He didn't play any Great Big Sea, and now half the show is Great Big Sea. So So
if you went and saw Alan Doyle, would he be playing like classic covers because of the way they're like
he's got a whole audience
or
Alan Doyle. Okay, for those
does he have his own songs? Or?
Yeah, Alan Doyle's the lead singer of Great Big Sea. For those who don't know, they're a big think.
I grew up with it.
Yeah. But in Canada, I think in Canada you would definitely at least have heard of them. But they Great Big Sea, to me, if you hear them, you really wouldn't realize they're not from Ireland unless someone told you.
I agree.
Very Irish, right? I mean, some of the songs, even the night Paddy Murphy died. Well, the night that Paddy Murphy died, I'll never forget. Right?
My dad used to play that song.
Lukey's Boat is an old traditional Irish song. Lukey's Boat is painted green, me buys, right? But it's Newfoundland too, and so they write their own songs for the most part. They put out the odd traditional song. They have a lot of accordions, fiddles going on. But Alan, in about 2011, when they broke up, now Alan had achieved worldwide fame and a little different too. He was one of the merry men with Russell Crowe in Robin Hood, right?
Acting like that.
He did. He got
incredible.
on Republic of Doyle, and then a few other, and then all of a sudden,
Was
you
he
know, he
pursuing
appeared
it,
on.
or was he just like kind of offered it?
Well, Russell Crowe came over here and did an episode of Republic of Doyle and met Alan. And Russell has a group called 30 Odd Full
Okay,
of Grunt, and they
I've
played
heard this
downtown
story.
one night. And Alan got up to sing like with them. And I guess I was there that night, and we went up. It was wild. We went back like it was in a bar called Kelly's, and we went like into the back room, and we had like beers with Russell and Alan, and I'm assuming
Fucking
that's
hey,
where they met. This was like maybe
Gladiator,
2 years
man.
before the movie came out. Mm. So
Gladiator, baby.
Alan has, yeah, he has a lot of his own though. My favorite shirt after this, those listening as well, there's a song "Testify" Alan has out. It's a rocker, and Russell
Yeah,
Crowe offered to do it. He's in the video. He's playing a preacher in the video, though. Very under the radar. You wouldn't realize this, and I believe Russell did it for next to nothing. But
probably did it for
um,
free. Yeah,
yeah, this is wild. So, and now that came out maybe 6, 7 years ago, but now it's coming to the forefront. Something must have happened. Some DJ must have played it in the States. I'm not
oh my
sure,
gosh.
but he played it the other night. I hadn't heard him even refer to it in 6, 7 years. This was a while ago. And anyway, it must be coming into
Incredible.
prominence. I thought Alan said while he was on stage he was going to play Saturday Night Live this year, which would be wild. But anyway, no, he's had his own albums. The Boy on the Bridge is great. There's about 4 that he's had since 2011. And like I said, with so much going on, you
Yeah.
used to hear any new release from an album that you're or a band that you liked on the radio, but we listen to less and less radio, at least I do. If I want, like today, I just realized Dookie was released by Green Day again. The
30 years ago?
just the demo, yeah, it's 30-year anniversary, but it's
I know.
the demo tracks. So Basket Case is the original words, nothing like the new ones. It's about a guy and a girl, not the new
No
ones.
way.
It ended up being about stress and anxiety, and I know but Basket Case, right? Like it was about kind of going out of your mind, tongue in cheek, and
Yeah.
he had a buddy go to an asylum, and he kind of wrote his own stress into that. Well, it's nothing like that. So but I wouldn't know that unless I follow Spotify and have it alarm me when, any of the bands that
Like
I
a new
follow
alert.
most. Yeah, basically that's what happens. It used to be tune in, listen to the top 40, tune into the radio to, I used to like listening to, oh God, what's his name? Randy Bachman has a show in Vancouver.
Yeah,
He's had it for
Randy
years
Bachman.
on CBC.
Yeah.
Right? I used to listen to that to get,
That's
and
a
then you
great
buy
show.
magazines.
I know
What's that?
exactly what you're talking about. I know exactly what you're talking about.
And there's there's magazines like Rolling Stone is obvious, but overseas there's Uncut, Mojo. So anything that I ever want to see now or want to sample, I use those. Like I almost have to go find it myself.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when you do, I know this is a long-winded way to explain it, but even I have lost that joy or
it's magic.
Yeah, I've lost the process of listening to the album.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I get you.
And
100%.
And so to connect with that again is kind of like, I know my CDs are there. I nearly threw them out 1,000 times, man. I'm like, the vinyl I kept, but I'm like, what am I going to do with these?
Well, you know what? Don't throw them out. Don't throw them out.
It would have been a bad idea.
That's a bad idea.
Hmm.
I had the same thing the other day. We were so I take my little guy to the pool in Thornhill, and I got this little blow up thing, and they play like a radio station essentially, like up on the, like they're just playing music basically the whole time, and Sweet Home Alabama comes on, and he's just like fucking rocking. Like he is rocking to this thing in this blow up thing, and Diana and I are laughing like because it's hilarious. Like he was like clearly he's loving this song, and I guess what I'm getting to is like we were like, let's put Sweet Home Alabama in the car, and it was so fast. I just went like Apple Music, boom, 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 boom.
Yes.
Put the song on, boom, it's on for him. And he's like, yeah, rocking out in the backseat.
Now.
And I was like kind of stunned at the moment of like, oh my God, that was so easy. Do you remember how hard like it was to get music back in the day? Like,
oh my God, you'd yeah. I mean, it would be, and even if you had the song, I own that on compilations. I have the vinyl. I have the CD.
Yeah, yeah.
And if Penny Lane wanted to hear it, I would have to go back home and get it and grab the find the CD, put it in.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
So with ultra convenience comes loss of process, like, right? Yeah. With that ultra convenience, which is great.
Yeah.
Is the loss of the rest of it. Like, okay, on the same album is it Give Me 3 Steps? Give me 3 steps, give me 3 steps. Like, one of those. Yeah, right. There's, but where that's not I mean, it is, you know it and I know it, but it's kind of lost its cachet on the hard rock radio raves or unless you really go seek that out.
Unless you have like a very classic rock station.
Yes, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah. So, and I do listen to radio still a little bit.
Well, I make myself.
I mean, I've been in Toronto here for a little while, and shout out to 88.1. I mean, that's the only one I've been listening to.
I know what one you mean.
Tickets to Leon Bridges, so that was cool.
I like Leon Bridges. But so listen, good. McD,
he had a
keep
crush
doing
on
that because this is what I found, and this was like a little, I don't know want to say experiment, but when Penny Lane was a kid, I said, like, it's only going to help her. I don't want to thrust my music upon her. Like, here, listen to what Dad's listening to, because then it'll turn her the other way. So I said, I'm always going to, and I listen to, like I said, my dad fucking knows Third Eye Blind. Like, he's 71 years old.
That's crazy. That's crazy to me.
Yeah, and if, like, so he likes Meghan Trainor. Like, if Meghan Trainor puts out a new album, he'll go get it. Yeah. He likes that. He likes that doo-wop kind of sound. He goes, this could be, this
could be big.
Doo-wop in the 60s. Like, not just that he's going there. I mean, he listened to, Dan Auerbach just put out a great album a few years ago, The Black Keys or whatever. Like,
Auerbach.
There's a lot of music, so I'm like that too.
Do you say Dan Auerbach? That's the guy from Black Keys, right?
It is, yeah.
Yeah,
he had a great album in 2018.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Waiting on a Song.
I loved it. Yeah.
It's a great album. Yeah, I highly recommend it. Anybody listen. And he's got John Prine on there. Eddie Cochran plays on it. He must be
John
like 85 years. John Prine, I guess 2 years before he died. Prine is on there. Yeah.
I have one thing to say really quickly. My dad has the best song about John Prine. I have to send it to you. I'll send it to you when we're done.
Your dad's a musician, right? So those who don't know.
Yeah, he's he definitely is.
That's how you got into it. I mean, I'm guessing growing up, you were influenced by your father's love of music.
For sure. I mean, like, we always had music, like in the kitchen, typical kind of Newfoundland stuff too, East Coast stuff. Whatever.
Yeah, like I know what you said with Newfoundland. You're not just talking style. You're saying that's what we do. We get up and in the kitchen, Mom will be making toast and whatever in the morning, and a coffee or tea and what. And there's always guitar, music on.
There's just it's just there's music.
There's a soundtrack to every day. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what I made sure with Penny Lane, to get back to my point, is that I would mix in. I'd make her playlist. If you follow me on Spotify, you can look at it. It's Penny Lane playlist. And there's 700 songs. So like every week I would introduce, like, first it was Fleetwood Mac, and it would be songs like that, because to a toddler and someone that's growing up with, if I got her into it now she's 13, I think there would be some level of, oh, Dad, that's old, right? But you just said, 13? like Leonard Skinner, Sweet Home Alabama, or let's go with, I don't know, Chuck Berry, Johnny B. Good, or rock and roll music, or the Beatles, Twist and Shout. That's timeless in that it's a great beat. You can put an alien could come here, never having heard music before, and there would be a rhythm to it. And so before any culture or age or era gets brought into the equation, Of course they're going to like that because it's, if nothing else, it's so simple. It's a beat. It's good singers singing. There's some harmony. There's some melody. And the better that gets, it's almost like a mathematical equation for a kid, right?
Absolutely.
They're not listening to read the lyrics or tell you what Paul McCartney was thinking when he wrote Yesterday or whatever it might be, or Blackbird. When she would go to bed, I would play songs like Blackbird or Fleetwood Mac, Never Going Back Again, right?
Really?
And then, so eventually, the playlist now is at 700 and something songs. It's not all old stuff. I'll pepper in lots of new to keep her interested, but it was always playing. And she would get up in the morning getting ready for school, and I'd just press play random. And one of 500 songs would come on. But there it is again.
Oh, you just shuffle it?
I'd just shuffle it. And then at first it was just songs like that had a beat. Twist and Shout, Johnny Be Good, Sweet Home Alabama.
Love
it. The Supremes, a lot of the later the Motown
like old
stuff.
School doo-wop.
Right. That's because it really does. It's there's a reason that it caught on first. As soon as rock and roll hit, these songs were created because that's what caught the ear. Then all of a sudden, a culture and the albums came in, and it started to be, oh wow, listen to how, like, the Grateful Dead, I don't think would have been popular in 1955, but the evolution of music took us there. And now you can get, like, now she knows that. Listen, just a little note as we're listening to the songs, driving around, I'll go, now that's A Day in the Life. This is off the same album as Sgt. Pepper. But when you were a kid, but now you know how good the Beatles are. Well, this is John and Paul at their best. And now she'll go, oh, and she'll know that and clock it and talk about it. And right. And it becomes, because even if she doesn't end up loving there's things that I like. I'm not going to get her into White Zombie. She can find that on her own. But you know what I mean? You know what I mean? But there's things that are going to help in a conversation, and they're only going to make you more well-rounded as a person. Yeah. You know, like Penny Lane, I was, I tell her this, like, enamored. Now I do. Back then I did. To meet Jim Cuddy, it was a dream of mine. But I'm glad that when I did, I could talk about some of his influences. Oh, you liked Herman's Hermits? Oh, how about Something Tells Me I'm into something good? And by the way, Jim, I loved Outskirts. Here's my favorite 3 songs on it. And I was listening to you with Tom Power on CBC, and I know you like the Beatles. My favorite album,
love Tom Power.
Sgt. Pepper. What's yours? And now this is how you get a vibe, and you meet people, and you talk about things, and you learn more things, right? And you meet more people. I truly believe that. And the same thing kind of when it comes to movies.
So one of my favorite things was, because I don't know if people know, well, they obviously don't, but, like, we're on a show together. You were talking about it last season. You wanted to get is it okay that I talk about your white Jeep for Penny Lane?
Yeah, you can talk about it. We finally got it.
And that was beautiful. Yeah. That was beautiful, man. When I saw the photos of you guys, like, together in the 2 front seats, I was just like, yeah. That was it was.
You know what's awesome? So beautiful. So for those that, most people know.
We talked about it a little earlier. But
yeah, dude, and I did, and I spoke about it.
That photo was made me smile.
When I was in for the last 2 seasons of Shoresy, especially this one that we just did, I was, the whole time I was in Ontario, the plan was to buy a white Jeep up there and drive it home, and I couldn't find the right deal.
It would have been rusted out.
I was going to buy one outright. That's what I was looking for, one for like $15,000, and Jeeps, I didn't realize, like, they're very expensive. I did, but now that I wanted to buy one like half newer, wow, I was like, fuck. So I came home and just bit the bullet. I said, fuck it. I put down X amount of dollars. I'm paying on one. It's 3 years old, but it looks and feels brand new.
Good lease on it?
And first, no, it'll be mine in a few years. And
someone bumped into me yesterday, so that was fun.
In your vehicle?
On my leased car. Yeah.
Wow.
Not that I should talk about it. I don't even know.
I hope that didn't go. It's all good then, right?
It's not a bad bump, but, like, hopefully Yeah, insurance will take care of it.
Yeah, and you're all right. So the first song we played, now the first song that I was just talking about way back, and I was putting together her playlist. She was, I don't know if she was one, but Walking on Sunshine, Katrina and the Waves. Because I'm like,
Nice.
a kid gets that, and it's really poppy. That's what I mean, right? You won't hear that much now. And but if you're a kid, if you're just learning the world, if you're just sights and sounds, I mean, you know what sunshine is. One of the first things. Here's the Teletubbies. Here's the fucking sun. You know, like now I'm walking on sunshine. You don't. I mean, I don't know what that's about. Katrina and the Waves. She was probably writing about being stoned. I don't know, but
well, who knows?
It's catchy.
Yeah,
Katrina and the Waves. But
what did you show your? This is so random, but like, did you show your? You say your daughter's name, right? Like, it's not a big deal. Like,
no, at Penny Lane, yeah.
Yeah.
Wondering if no, I don't shield
do
any
you?
of that stuff.
Okay. But like, did you? Like, what cartoons did you show her? I was actually asking a babysitter yesterday.
Everything was outside of that.
So
I didn't force any of this on her. The only reason I even said that is because when we got the Jeep, the first song we listened to was "Walking on Sunshine." And,
no, I get it.
But none of it was forced on her. What cartoons? You're not going to believe this. Normal, everything across the board, normal. Whatever came out that was, she loved Frozen. That was really early on, you know. And we would watch old stuff. She loves the Smurfs. Even you know, you can find those. She liked the Muppet Show. I wasn't trying to
love the Muppet Show.
When it came to that, I wasn't trying to do what I just said. I was just like, that worked for me. I gave her every option, right? From Blue's Clues to SpongeBob. She just gravitated towards. When you don't know what anything is, Smurfs are pretty cool. Little blue cats,
they're cool.
Dancing around. Gargamel is a villain that he's never going to be too bad. He puts them in soup every second episode, but he's not really going to eat them, right? Azrael is always pissed off. If you're a kid, you know that Azrael's a cute little cat. That this, as bad as this ogre is, he's really not going to do anything to the cat or the Smurfs. You know, so it is really cool.
I'm seeing every episode of Peppa Pig now. I'm losing my mind. I literally think that he's going to come out talking British. Like, for real. Like, I for real think that he's going to come up and be like, "Hi, how's everyone doing?"
Yeah. I mean, who played him in the movie again?
In what movie? There's no Peppa Pig movie.
What?
If there is a Peppa Pig movie, I got to take him to it.
I thought there was a Peppa Pig movie.
No, I don't think so.
Okay, maybe
I think it's just Netflix, like 5 seasons. I just let it.
So here's the thing.
On the iPad.
Here's the thing. Okay.
Yeah.
Here's an unbelievable cartoon that you want to mix it all together. That's a great cartoon that got good music. The Beat Bugs. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
My friend got me into this from overseas. Okay.
Okay.
I say my friend, this was a listener to my podcast. It couldn't have been. It must have been. It couldn't have been. It was an email because it was too long ago. I can't remember, but I didn't know this person. I mean, there was always, to some degree, people would.
I think we're all in the wrong industry because, like, I've heard it's rumors. I don't know if it's like absolutely true, but like those people from what are they? Oh my God, the Australian dance group that are like kids performers.
Yeah, I vaguely know what you mean,
but oh God, okay, it's gonna. I don't. Yeah, your listeners are screaming it out, but
yeah, for sure.
But
listen. Before you go any further, what I'm saying about Beat Bugs, every episode is a Beatles song, so it goes like 6 seasons. So if it's "You Won't See Me," like that's not even a huge hit. Well, they can't because there's 6 seasons of it, so not every song is a huge hit. They're just whatever. So "You Won't See Me" is about a chameleon. So they're little bugs, and they go around, and it's a cartoon. Like, it's very modern.
It is cartoon. It's like animated though.
It's animated. Yeah, it's like it only like Penny Lane was probably 8. It was only like 5 or 6 years ago. So maybe it was someone from over there. That was listening.
I'm not trying to compare them at all. I was just saying like all I was talking about was that they were making so much money, so much money. This cast of this television show, like they traveled and they did live shows. What the hell are they called? The Beebles? I don't even know.
I know. Well, you got a phone there.
I'll figure it out. The Wiggles.
The Wiggles, yeah.
The Wiggles. I think they're called the Wiggles.
Yeah, no different than Sharon Lois and Bram and Fred Penner and all that.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Oh,
well, they're making a ton, but this is not
the
that
shit
though.
Out of me as a kid.
I know what you're thinking, but this is nothing like the Wiggles. This isn't people dancing or this is like a caterpillar, and he lives with a beetle, and they live. And then a fly comes in, and then maybe a gnat. I forget their names, man. It's been a couple of.
Yeah. It's okay.
We watched every episode.
And
you know, there's these characters, and every time something. Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. Lucy is like a butterfly that comes in, meets everybody, and there's a plot, and it just revolves around a Beatles song, and halfway through they will play it, and then at the end they'll play it in full. So
that's crazy.
Knows 50 Beatles songs from that alone, right?
Just from watching the show.
Yeah, I highly recommend it. It's especially now you've.
I mean, we're right there. Like I'm this Peppa Pig stuff. It's like I seriously think I've seen all 5 seasons 3 times. So,
but that's only good. What's he now? 1.5?
What's that? What do you mean?
1.5?
No, I'm just saying. Like I think
your son,
like 5 seasons. Oh yeah. He's almost 17 months. So.
Okay, so you're coming right into that.
Yeah.
Right, like
lots of gibberish. It's great. It's amazing. It really is.
So look, there's
lots of gibberish.
Jay is a curious, ambitious beetle, and then there's Crick is a cricket. Walter's a slug. Okay, and they go through. Lucy's a dragonfly. So there's a postman, right? Please, Mr. Postman is in there.
Please, Mr. Postman, like.
Oh yeah, then Blackbird, right? These are all characters.
No way.
There's Octopus, right? Now, obviously, Octopus's Garden comes into it. Honestly, it's worth it. Now, I'm not going to spend any more than 10 minutes talking about.
Yeah, I know.
People know what I'm talking about. So here we go. I got something to ask you.
Can I ask you something really quickly first?
Of course, it's just airwaves.
How the hell was the ball hockey trip?
The what?
Because ball hockey trip. Because I really want to see you when you come here to Toronto and then go to Buffalo. So how's it going?
I played, the Nationals just happened, and I played in 2 divisions. The 34 plus is called Masters, and the 44 plus is called Legends. Now, to be honest with you, I didn't want to play Legends. I got no interest in that. I still like playing the real one. I like challenging myself. Not that it's a fucking joke. There are people in shape over 44. Clearly, we lost in the final. But I just, most of my friends, and in my amateur sports life, I'm playing with younger players. So all my buddies tend to be on the regular team or the 34 plus, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, on senior hockey, there's nobody in their 40s. So the guys that I've played with and against for most of the time are younger than me. I'm not trying to say I'm better than the fucking older guys, but I just had no interest.
No, but you probably are.
So, well, I don't know. I'm still, I want to compete at the highest level that I can, right? So, but I went up there expecting nothing from the 44 plus, but I'm going up to play Masters. These guys are from Newfoundland asking me to play. I know I can help them, so I'll play both divisions. But it was way better than I thought, as I fucking could have expected. People keep themselves in shape. They're going for a national championship. There was nobody like fat and overweight like I thought.
No, there wouldn't be.
Right? I guess it's a nationals. They exist, but not on the teams that represent the provinces. So anyway, this one I'm going to now next week. thanks for asking. We came second in one, third in the other. But 5 players off our Masters team, 34 plus from Newfoundland, got picked for Team Canada. Now that's happening next week. And Monday, I'll be in Toronto, where you're going to join us at a Jays game, I think. And then Tuesday, I'm driving over to Buffalo, and then we play Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and hopefully
drive down there too.
Championship Sunday. There's Italy, Slovakia, Czech.
No way. Really?
Oh, yeah. And the way it works in Canada.
What?
The way it works.
How many countries are in it?
Italy are actually not bad. They have a lot of like dual citizenship guys that like play pro hockey in Canada and ball hockey for years.
Yeah.
Portugal, Czech, Slovaks, us, Latvia, US, and then at least that. Oh, Haiti. They're in it, if you can believe that. Haiti. But you see, what happens in ball hockey is that if you want to join, you like your first tournament or two, you can grandfather players in. So George Laraque, like 10 years ago, played for Haiti. One of his parents must be from there, or maybe his grandfather. Now they don't keep letting that go. You got to have a passport and everything.
Right.
Like Italy can't do that. But if you start a program,
you got like a half Italian passport.
Like there's enough Italians, I guess. Bermuda has a team. But again, it's all dual citizenship. They got a financial district there that a bunch of Canadians go down there and work. Everybody can run.
Yeah.
We've never been beaten by Bermuda.
Save their taxes.
They get shots on net. They're not bad. Yeah, like, it just takes... You get a good power play in ball hockey, too. Like, once you get the blue line, you can bring it back to the red. So I remember we played Bermuda. I thought they were going to be a joke, but it was all guys a lot of them were from Edmonton, and a lot of them were from Atlantic Canada. Just, you get down there as a group, you play. If you get a power play in ball hockey, I don't care. You could be playing against the best players in the world, but you should be able to get a decent shot from the point. If you get a decent team, like I remember playing Israel.
Is the point shot like the way to go? Like with a tip or something?
You would never set up like hockey. It's so open that now hockey does do a little bit more of an umbrella, but it's umbrella.
Yeah.
The left shot on one side, right on the other, and on the top, we have Justin Pender, the maniac from Chicklets Cup.
Yeah,
he can shoot at 109. So give it to him, and no one wants to block that. And it curves. The ball curves.
Yeah, I know.
In the air. It's a lot harder. Like I'd rather face Pender's ice hockey shot, even though.
Are the goalies wearing bigger gear?
No, normal.
It's like ball hockey styles, or is it?
Goalies wear the same gear.
I'm saying this as a person who plays a goalie on the show, but are they like puffed up, like chest protectors, or are they? No,
they're the right. Most other than play. On every team I've been on, including the national team, there's not usually more than half that are actual hockey players. A lot of people run, and they might have skated growing up, but I've played with some of the best ball hockey players on the planet that are in the Hall of Fame, and they really didn't play much hockey. But goalies, yes, most goalies do. I don't know why, but maybe it's just having all the gear, but most goalies are dual. Yeah, dual sport guys. So
you mean dual like
they play ice hockey and they wear their ice hockey gear
too,
they play ice hockey. In my experience,
I would think that everyone that plays ball hockey plays ice hockey. That's not the case.
No, like let's just say Montreal. Okay, so for 8 years,
that blows my mind.
Yeah, no, lots do, but you got to realize that a lot of places. People growing up, people don't have the money to get the hockey gear, but they, everybody can run, and they might have gotten some kind of a start. They want to play hockey, but we go to the Worlds overseas, and there's thousands of people at the games. So,
really,
if you were to get involved in the CBHA, there are leagues that startup leagues that they claim to be, but they're not sanctioned, right? There's a CBHA. You got to have certain gear. There's refs. There's rules. You got to be a sanctioned tournament. Team Canada is picked from it's a process, from the nationals. You got scouts that go there. I was a scout for years. There's a
you
process.
Were a scout?
Yeah, there's
amazing.
I was for years when I stopped playing for the main team Canada's men's team. It's every 2 years. I went 2003 to 2015. And then I started playing for the Masters team and scouting on the side and going to every year now. The Worlds are every 2 years in every division. The Nationals, though, is every year. So every year we got a team Newfoundland. And we go and go for them. We won in all those years of playing. In 20 years, I've got 2 regular division national titles. I've got 2 Masters titles in all those years. It's a lot of parity, right? And not every sport can Newfoundland beat Ontario either. It's just
man,
it's just numbers alone.
I remember just playing, even like getting invited to the provincial camp of like Nova Scotia, playing hockey and stuff like that, like as a young guy, and didn't last long. but
if you knew that your ball hockey team could put you on the provincial team right away, that's what happens to a lot of people. They early on, I mean, to cut you off, say they're 12 or 13 and they're like just one step away from making that provincial team. Maybe they need to work on their skating, but lo and behold, they can run like anybody else. And if they just work on their leg strength, they can run a bit faster.
I'll never forget. So here we go. I was going to the Nova Scotia provincial like camp, whatever it was. It was something. It was in Bedford, Nova Scotia. Yeah. So I'm going there, and I'd never hit before. I never I'd never like been in contact, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So my dad buys me. We're literally like 2 hours away from the game, and my dad buys me these big like Vic shoulder pads. They were huge. They were fucking huge, man.
Too big?
They were like too big.
I hated them.
And I hated them. But I was like, holy shit, okay, like, you know, you're going out there with some 16-year-olds. I'm like 14. You know, like let's go. So I walk out with these things, and this guy, he was playing. We got paired up on the line, and he's like, "Don't ever give me a fucking cross ice pass ever again." He's like, "Those never work." And I looked at him and I was like, "If you're open, I'm going to pass it to you. Like, I'm going to pass it to you if you're open."
Yeah.
So what are you even talking about? And he goes, "Don't ever do that again.
Can't give
Your
a good
shoulder
player
pads suck." Says to me. I literally go into the dressing room and puke from anxiety.
I wouldn't say you'd be the only one to ever do that.
Like, I literally was like, I think the kid, do you know who it was? I really actually think it was Brandon Benedict. And I don't know if you know who that is, or
I don't believe.
I'm calling him out. I'm calling him out right now.
I used to find, though, I went that route for a few months. Even when I first went to Cornell, I was playing junior. And so I got big shoulder pads. But you know what's funny? I find I could hit harder with the small ones, because the big pads were absorbing my hits against the other players. Not that I was ever a big hitter, but I found I could be more effective. Now, of course, that can backfire.
You're a number one pick and I'm not.
Well, I suppose, but cushion is relative. But yeah, I see what you mean.
New customers, download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use promo code THPN. Bet just $5 to score $150 in bonus bets instantly. That's promo code THPN, only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In Massachusetts, call 800-327-5050 or visit gamblinghelplinema.org. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. In Kansas, call 1-800-522-4700 on behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort. In West Virginia, gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.1800gambler.net. All games regulated by the West Virginia Lottery. Please play responsibly in partnership with Hollywood Casino at Charlestown Races. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. 21 plus in most eligible states, but age varies by jurisdiction. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details and state-specific responsible gambling resources. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. 1 boost per eligible game. Opt-in required. Max bet $50. 10 plus leg required for 100% boost. Eligibility, wagering, and deposit restrictions apply. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/baseball terms. Even if you're not going on vacation, summer's all about a vacation state of mind. Whether I'm checking out some of TR's music recommendations, throwing on my own summer playlist, or listening to other shows on my favorite hockey podcast network, I love creating my own summer soundtrack by popping in my Raycon wireless earbuds. There's so much going on all summer. Sometimes you need some upbeat music to pump you up before you see people, or to stay calm with some guided meditation. I recently got to see Blink-182 in concert, and since then they've been my go-to summer listening. And let me tell you, Raycons are the best way to listen to some Blink-182. And here's why. You can use the earbud tap functions to toggle between 3 customizable sound profiles, including noise isolation and awareness mode. Better yet, Raycons have a 32-hour battery life, including 8 hours of playtime, so that you can listen to what you want when you want for a really long time. They come with custom gel tips for the most comfortable in-ear fit, and they start at half the price of other premium audio brands, and they sound just as good. And if that's still not enough for you, Raycons come with a 30-day happiness guarantee, so you really can't lose. Create your own soundtrack with Raycon. Right now, Tales with TR listeners can get 15% off their Raycon order at buyraycon.com/THPN. That's buyraycon.com/THPN to save 15% on Raycons. buyraycon.com/THPN.
Now listen. So the reason I got to get to this, so people listening. Now, I love having you on, and we're going to have you on again, and we're going to talk about that in a minute. But today was supposed to be Jason Gregor. So the people out west, he's starting his own sports channel. He's worked for TSN for years. He's had his own company, the Jason Gregor Incorporated, whatever it is. He's been part of Edmonton radio for 20 years or maybe even slightly more. And I was going to pick his brain, but I had him on yesterday morning, was scheduled. And 2 nights ago, dude, at 4 a.m, I woke up. I'd had food poisoning once before. It was in my draft year. It was the only 2 games that I missed, myself and Brent Ashcroft.
It's bad.
And it was bad. And this, I woke up. I thought it was going to pass. I thought whatever it is, because every once in a while, I don't want to get graphic, but I have irritable bowel syndrome, and it often happens if I eat something that I'm allergic to, and now it's going to pass through my stomach. But this was different. This was food poisoning, maybe coupled with that. But dude, it was a day of absolute fucking hell. As you
I'm
know,
so sorry for you.
It happened to you in Greece, did it? I mean, I just texted you.
Yeah.
Oh,
we
man.
were talking about it. Yeah. I got it in Greece. I've had it like 2 times where it's been really bad. Once in Greece, and then once from like a Taco Bell.
Wow, that doesn't surprise me. I mean, nothing against Taco Bell, but fast food.
I love Taco Bell, but
it's funny that back when in our 20s we could just eat it constantly. I used to go to
so bad.
I used to love it, but I can't eat it anymore. I mean, I don't.
Yeah,
I
mean, it's definitely turned my. I don't go back there.
Well, I'm telling you this. Whatever. 2 nights ago, this is what I did. Though I ate. I mean, it could be. I eat pretty healthy, man. I ate.
John, I know you do.
Brown rice and veggies, but then I find it hard to snack at night. I don't like snacking on carbs, even if they're healthy, to sit on carbs overnight. And I'm not one of those that never eats carbs, but it's usually earlier in the day for a lot of reasons. But
yeah.
Anyway, so at night I'm like, and I'm allergic to nuts.
Yeah, but let's just get this out of the way.
What?
You look fucking incredible. Season 2.
Oh, well.
Let's go.
There was,
thank you.
There was a lot of work that went into that.
I know you did a lot of work, but that was you look great. You look great.
Actually, good that you. Well, thank you.
I put the dad weight on, and we just transferred pounds.
But but listen, you look awesome.
We'll be fine for season 3. Can we talk?
Yeah, and I was asked. It was more part of the role for me that I know that all of us. I don't want to really get in and give season 2 away, but me in particular, Jared asked me to it would really please me if you came back, a little bit bigger and more muscular. I don't want to give too much away. So I got a trainer for months, and I still like to live by that. But what was happening is that in order to put on weight, and I'd never really looked at it from that angle because I'm always the other way. I'm training for ball hockey or to stay down to like 190. But he wanted me to be up to like 215. I got there, but I had to eat a lot. And I find at night, if I want a snack, maybe nuts or something, but I'm allergic, right? I'm allergic. So even
You're
now,
allergic to nuts?
I'm allergic to a lot of nuts, right? So, yeah, most. And a lot of fruits with seeds. And it's only mild for the most part. Pecans, I look like the guy from Pure Luck. What is it, Martin Short? Martin. Remember that movie, Pure Luck, when he gets stung by the bee? Yeah. That is the nugget from the past. Is that even on anything? I remember that being a really funny movie.
That's got to be on Netflix. If it's not, I want to watch.
I haven't seen it in 20 years, but it was really funny.
Was it him and like Steve Martin or something? Or like?
God.
No.
I don't think he was in it with
God,
Steve.
it was so
This
good.
opens up.
Yeah.
This guy's just completely unlucky. He's just the most unlucky person in the world. Remember, he's like walking under a ladder and like an air conditioner falls on the thing behind. He's unlucky, but he's kind of lucky because he just has all these near misses. Like when he walks down the street, there's like explosions. Like he's just missing getting hit by a car.
Just constantly.
But he's like loses his job and he's just like always. And then he gets on this plane and of course there's like an African beetle that he's allergic to and something stings him and he blows right up. If I eat certain nuts, that happens. All nuts to a degree. I got tested a few years ago. It's like a 3 out of 10. But the way.
What do you like? What's the nut that would fucking just annihilate you?
Pecans and pralines.
Really?
Pralines and cream.
Those are the best.
Yeah, I know. And peanuts, like I have an allergy. It's a little bit uncomfortable. But anyway, I'm reading these things and I'm like, can I just stay away from this forever? Like, and some people are going, I didn't look any further than this, but some people are going, I like to test my immune system and I'm only like really, really slightly allergic to strawberries. So I'll eat some here and there. And I don't know. It's a garbage pail fucking theory apparently. But I said, well, fuck it. I ate the pistachios and my mouth, I waited 5 minutes and it got a little bit numb. I'm like, I can deal with this and it's a good snack. So I ate like a barrel. I ate a whole package of pralines. And then I keep reading the same article. I go, my stomach's not feeling that great. And I read this article. It's
weird.
Yeah, it's like, you shouldn't do that because one guy gets back at the first paragraph, it was on Reddit.
What were you thinking?
Yeah, the first paragraph, a guy goes, I like to test my immune system. And I didn't read past that. And I'm like, I wake up 4 a.m. Oh, Jesus, I had to go into the toilet. I was puking shit. And I looked down and like the response was like, dude, you shouldn't do that. You could go into anaphylactic shock. I'm like, why didn't I just read the fucking response? I'm a day. Now, I don't know. I called. Jesus. I had to call the doc. I couldn't get up long enough. I said I can't go to emergency because I.
You got a doc. You got a doc on the line.
I phoned emergency. And I just said I'm going to come out, but I need some help here and everything. And I don't even know if it was on. They passed me on to somebody. I can talk to my doctor here on the phone. Yeah, but this wasn't. This was emergency. Right. I said what happened. I said anyway. They put me on to somebody, and the guy just goes, okay, what? I said I ate chicken. And I just baked it. He said, well, it's either that, but I think it could be the allergic reaction to your stomach because you're just going to have to wait it out. Did you just eat it? I'm like, no, like 6 hours ago. He goes, okay, you're in for a ride. And
fuck you.
Dude, 30 hours. I was like, is this ever going to go
No
away? Like sweat coming off me could have filled up. Like every time I came out of the bathroom,
30 hours?
every 20 minutes, a wave. And it was gallons of water. I'm sure I sweated. I had a bucket in front of me, puking into it. The worst I've ever felt.
Dude, we kind of, not to circle back, but like that time I had in Greece was the absolute worst. It was the absolute worst.
It's not good.
And it's from the ice, apparently.
It's what?
That's what I was told. Like that, I was I got loose. I was there for a month, like traveling for a month.
It was
And
from ice. What were you drinking? Fucking water from a swamp?
no, frozen shitty water. So that's what fucking really gave it to me. So I like, oh my God. It was DR, it was so bad. It was so bad. I remember going in a cab to the next hotel that I was like kind of staying at, and just being like, guys, you got to pull over. You got to pull over. I can't. I was so scared to even do because I know how to surf, but I was taking my person that I was with out to surf.
Wait.
If
you could take someone out to surf, then you were better than I was. I couldn't move.
Well, okay. Well, here's the problem. So we went out, and I tried to be like, okay, here I'm gonna instruct you on how to do this and that, and it didn't work at all. And I had to go back up to the room, just fucking chill for like a good. It was the worst. It was the worst. So anyway, we don't need to like. I think anyone that has had this problem knows exactly like what this is.
Have you heard anything on season 2? Are we going to 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 do some? Well, you're in TO. Are we doing any promos or anything?
I haven't heard anything yet.
29th in September it comes out in Canada, right? October 27th in the States.
Yeah, baby.
I'm guessing they're going to drop a few more teasers soon.
I'm assuming so, but yeah. Will we be paired up? Probably. Hopefully.
I'm guessing. I mean, I'm sure they want us to, and I should almost give them the heads up that, because I'm like, even now I'll be coming home from Buffalo on September 5th.
Yeah. That's
they might call and go, hey, can you come up on the 7th? Oh God, I was just there. Why don't I, maybe I should call one of the higher ups and let them know, do our thing. What did we do last time? E-Talk. Yeah.
Anyway.
E-Talk Live. We did even some of the
what do we
sports
we
shows.
Did some fun stuff. Bar Down.
We did.
Which, by the way, I've been playing on their hockey team. So fun.
So really? Fun. So when do you play?
Yeah. Sunday nights. They're
like in Toronto? Obviously in Toronto, but like
yeah. And,
like which?
Toronto.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
Obviously so they're just a bunch of fucking beauties. I loved it. I was texting Jared and my buddy Arthur as well, like saying like, oh my God, like I haven't played like adult men's hockey in a long time.
Sunday nights.
Sunday nights, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. 6 o'clock. Normal.
So what I've been doing, this was the first year this past year that I didn't play senior hockey. When I say senior hockey, for those that don't know, it's in Newfoundland, it's almost like semi-pro. I mean, goal is to win the Allen Cup. We lost that's the Canadian Senior Championship, like literally what Shoresy are playing for. Clarenville lost this year in the final. So there's a level of like it. We go on road trips, buses get paid. You play in Clarenville, you're hoping for 1,000 plus. They're painting faces, selling jerseys. It's like a semi-pro circuit. So I played that up until this year. I think we get imports and all that shit. Imports being from outside Newfoundland. Teams have budgets of hundreds of thousands of dollars. Or in the summertime, even now, like 4 times a week, I'm skating at noon with the senior hockey pro in the summer. Pro guys like Newhook's out with us, Dawson Mercer, Zach O'Brien,
awesome,
all pro guys going away. It's funny because it's a really high level.
Do you skate like 5 days a week?
Yeah, I do. Well, but the thing is, I don't like. That sounds heroic,
That's
and I'm
awesome.
playing ball hockey, but unless the ball is there or the puck, I find it really hard to jog on the side of the street. Really, really hard to motivate
I
me.
know. I get you.
But when there's a ball or a puck,
I get you.
I can go for days.
Yeah.
Right? So
Yeah.
it's almost masking that I know I'll be way more active if I play sports.
Like I want to
That's
play
why.
sport. I don't want to fucking run the fucking concrete.
Yeah. I'm just
Yeah,
if I go to the gym and I could ride the bike for an hour, I can. But if I play hockey, I'm going 5 times. Well, I don't even think you can measure it. 10 times harder. Right when you come off after every skate, like because I'm not thinking about it, or after every shift when you're out with those guys. But if I climb a mountain on a bike, or if I'm running Signal Hill, it just when's this fucking shit over? But anyway, so I do it for that reason. But what's funny is that last year being my first year out of senior hockey, because here they don't let any senior hockey players play in the men's leagues because there are men's leagues, right? I guess when I say I play beer league, I never really played beer league. I just play shinny at noon, which is different, right?
Yeah,
shinny at noon, even during the season.
You're going up for a skate at like 12.
Yes,
right?
with a bunch of guys who played senior, so evidently played pro at some point, or if it's in the summer, it's with guys that play pro. So what I'm saying is that it's a high level skate, but until I played beer league, I didn't realize how chippy it got. Because in senior, it's almost like in pro. Chippy. Like if it gets chippy, okay, but if I'm going to go hit someone, there's no hitting. But if I'm going to take the puck on somebody, okay, in shinny, I'm not going to fucking hit them. I'm not even going to skate hard behind them because I know they might trip if they see me and go into the board. There's a way to play hard without playing dangerous. And when I played beer league, I was like, wow, there's people out there playing dangereux. Right? Like I almost want to wear a cage for fuck's sake. Sticks are up and I don't even wear shoulder pads out with the boys when I do in the senior hockey, but nothing will ever happen. You're out with Dawson Mercer. He's one of the best young players in the NHL. I can check him all day and I know he's not going to fucking dart me in the head. A puck.
No, he wouldn't do that because it's like a respect thing.
Yeah. Right.
Like what the fuck?
I guess the beer leaguers
I just started playing in this league, and I swear to God, some guys want to fucking tomahawk my fucking head off.
Well, yeah, I'm not saying the bar down guys are great. Just saying beer league in general, there are guys.
The bar down guys are fantastic, amazing. Corwin, all of them, they're incredible. They really are. But one guy comes off and he's chirping the bench and he's like, hey, you fucking teeth to mouth ratio. I think is what it said. Your teeth to mouth ratio is so off. To our boy from Bar Down. And I looked over at him and I was like, what are you going to say to that? And he just completely froze. He was like, I think my teeth are really nice.
So
it was.
This guy's chirping and
my God.
To me, that if that turns me on, like if I hear a chirp in beer league, like I'm in the wrong skate. Like what are we doing? Or like,
well, that's what I mean. It's like what are we doing here? Like we're 40. I don't need to fucking break it fucking tooth. Like, can you just shut the fuck up?
Yeah, but I don't. Yeah, that's new. Unless I joke with friends, but I just find sometimes the beer league or like someone that comes and you'll go for a beer and they'll tell me about their beer league and like I get it by I'm not the best, but I dump it in. I'll be right in the goalie's face. I'm like, no, I don't want that. You goalie's face in beer league, dude. Are you fucking mad? Like I know your favorite player might be Tyler Bertuzzi, but he's getting paid a lot of money in a hitting league. But people kind of, and I get it. They want to place on a team, but to me, no level of non-hit hockey should have slashing or chirping or be competitive. Try to win your league. It's all good.
No.
But this, I wouldn't even keep stats, man. People, I don't want to name which leagues.
Most
people are good, by the way. Most are good. 90% of these people are good, and they just want to skate.
Is that what it's called? ASHL. Like it's
Well,
it's
here
a
there's
fucking
a
genre.
couple. Yeah, no one knows what I'm referring. I don't want to put
Yeah,
down a
right.
league. A lot of people go out. I
Right.
respect it too. They're fans, and they want to go out and they want to play their favorite game, and they want to emulate their favorite players. And I see nothing wrong with that.
Amen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. I mean, that's
Amen.
why the NHL is fucking successful.
Fuck yeah.
And why people love our game. You know what I mean. There's one or two on every team. I mean,
Hey, what do you think about Austin Matthews' 4-year deal?
I think it's hit the nail right on the head. It's fair for both sides.
Yeah.
For anybody getting out of hand, I mean, you got to realize the salary cap's going up. He's an MVP. I think the contract works. If
He's
you're a
one of the
Leafs
best
fan,
in the league.
yeah, if you're a Leafs fan, you'd want it a bit longer, but he could have commanded more. What was he going to
Fuck
get?
that.
I mean,
I
I know McDavid.
look,
McDavid makes what,
I'm a-
12-6?
I'm
He
a
signed
Leafs-
that 6 years ago. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
like
exactly.
I think this will date well. In 4 years from now, you're still going to have 5 years because he's still got a year left. So you got him for the next 5 years at that, right?
See, this is like 4 years is the perfect fucking deal for him.
Yeah, I think so.
Perfect deal. Perfect deal.
Both sides
Perfect.
win. I mean, I don't see him. Last year, he had an off year. He had 40 goals and like 87 points.
You call that an off year?
Yeah, well, everybody is. I don't. If he had an off year, I would consider it 30 goals. But
Jesus.
Well, he had 60 the
okay.
year before. I guess that's why people. But
Okay.
to me, the Leafs. I know no one wants to hear it, but they won one round, and some of those goals that he scored, I've said, because a lot of the time, I get it. Him and Marner don't have the most jam. At least they didn't. Last year, there were steps in that. Like, he blocked the most shots in the NHL, at least close to the end of the year.
Can
I couldn't
we
believe that.
talk about shit like
Marner's
that?
a way
what
better
the
penalty
hell?
kill than when he
Yeah.
started. There are steps that they're taking. I know it was only one round, but they did win a round. I mean, I wouldn't be happy if I was a huge Leafs fan with that. But if you're standing back, being
I'm
objective-
not. You were
Yeah.
with me, man. You
Yeah.
were with me when I watched Montreal fucking pump them in the what was it?
We were in Montreal,
We were in Montreal too.
but it was
Oh
when
my
they
God.
lost. They lost a year and a half ago in the playoffs, but we were in Montreal.
We were together.
Yeah.
In the bar where they kept playing fucking horrible music. Like horrible
And the
music
Leafs,
all the time.
you could see it coming that they
And
were
I
gonna
just
fumble.
kept asking, like, can we just have the sound on, please? Can we have the sound on? And nothing but fucking trance music or whatever.
Yeah, they were playing
Oh,
some
it's
weird
so
stuff.
bad.
That happens in Montreal. You might
So
be at like a sports bar. That was literally called the Sports Cage, the Cajo Sport.
Yeah,
We were
it
at
was the
the bar
one
called the Sports
place
Cage,
that we thought that we could
and
go
it was
to
just
watch the game.
EDM, trance,
Like,
music blasting. Like I couldn't hear you speak.
nothing good.
And they had it on the
no,
big
it
screen, the
really-
Leafs. But anyway, I think they lost to Tampa, right? But
They lost it.
here's the thing. Last year, you watched when Matthews scored just last year in the playoffs, and the thrill, like he's pumped. You can see, rah, like he comes over to the bench. No one does that if they don't care. Yeah. So
well, that's why he just signed for 4
he
years.
clearly cares. Yeah, people go. Look. So I know you got to bring that out of him. Hopefully, I think Ryan O'Reilly did that a bit. He's gone. Oh, Bertuzzi's in there. Max Domi's coming back home. Like that's going to make a difference. He's going to wear a lot of pride. And I don't think. I think Max Domi is a bit of a lost player the last few years, but he's effective, and I think he'll be most effective in this environment.
I think so,
that'll
too.
rub off. Not everybody from Phoenix, Arizona is built like someone from Toronto. So I know it might take a while. It took a while for Ovechkin, but I see there's steps. No, it's one round, but it's steps. And now him committing, people go, oh, it's the most in the league. Well, he did win the fucking Hart Trophy a year ago. And if you want to lock up a guy for 4 years, I don't know. People were talking 14, 15 he could have asked for. I think 13. He wasn't going to take less. He's only making $1.6 million more.
Yeah, I know.
Right? It's only $1.6 million more than he always making.
It's not that much more.
McKinnon signed for close, McDavid, and I assume in 2 years when
but is
McDavid comes, he'll have
it really
again,
that
he'll be
much of
15.
a pissing contest? Like, is it really?
Well,
I don't know.
I think
Like
when it
I
comes to
get
agents,
it.
I don't think a lot of players. I mean, I can't speak for it. I've never been the best in the league. I don't think like that. But I think for agents, and there's a bit of cachet to it if you're a player, knowing that in 2 years McDavid's going to sign for 15, the salary cap's going up.
You know that
right?
he is.
But McDavid and then McKinnon again, I think a year after that. So by the time he's up again, he'll be like fifth. And if he's still a Hart Trophy candidate, then he'll make more. But the player is clearly banking on himself because he could have asked for 8 years at 14. 14.5.
He could. Okay, so that was the whole thing that I was kind of like. Okay, he went for the 4-year, not the 8-year. You know what I mean? Like, if he goes for the 4-year, this is it's a testing ground. Isn't it?
Yeah, and it sets him up. It sets him up. You got to have confidence. Like, that's why guys like Matthew Tkachuk last year, for example, signed the 8-year. And not every league are you allowed to even sign an 8-year. And I think coming up in the NHL, one of the things they're going to bring it up at the next collective bargaining is not to sign an 8-year. I think they're going to lower the terms just from listening to higher minds than myself talk about it on sports radio. But that being said, he's got to have confidence in himself, right? Because who knows? Now, I don't see any reason why, barring injury, Austin Matthews isn't some version of himself in 4 years from now that's similar. I mean, like I said, he just went from 60 goals to 40, and people say that's off. I mean, I don't see him getting 15.
Look, if you go from 60 goals to 40 goals to 50 goals
and your team does
47,
better. Even though it's one round, your team does better, and you block close to the most shots in the NHL.
You're becoming like
no balls.
And you're becoming an incredible player. Like what? Like,
well, MVP.
What are we even talking about here?
He's 1 year off of an MVP. Yeah. I don't think. I'm actually surprised. They had since July 1st. So for a contract that seems to fit on both sides, I am surprised it took this long. Or maybe it just they just announced it.
I think they just took their time. Like the same way. You know what? I just saw a great interview with the 30 with Nylander, and like talking about what he has to do. And he's like, guys, I got a year to like deal with this. Can I just have a year? Like, can I do it? Like,
now, I don't. That used to happen a lot more, and we're conditioned as fans now of teams. I guess I don't want to. When I say we, I'm not really. I'd love them to win because my friend is the equipment manager. Other than that, they're on TV a lot. Any Canadian team, I would love to see break this curse. I don't care. I don't care who it is. I follow the Canadian teams more. I'm Canadian. That's the way it is. I know I have a podcast, and I suppose
we're
a lot
all
of
just
people
fans of sport.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean.
I'm impartial to the point that I don't cheer for one team, but as a Canadian, it would be fun to watch us win. I mean, the last one was before I was a pro. I mean, it was 1993, the Canadiens, and they won that.
Fucking crazy.
On, I don't remember them like being the President's Trophy. I believe Patrick Waugh, and wasn't that the year they won like 10 in a row overtime?
Maybe.
Like I don't think they were the favorite going in when they won it. So it's been a long, long time. Can you name any other Canadian? Ottawa got to the final. Vancouver and Calgary, I believe, since they all lost.
I was there. Oh man, I was there for the Vancouver whole thing.
Were you there for the riot?
That was crazy. Yeah, I was. I was actually tucked inside, told not to leave anywhere because the riot was going on.
You know what?
It was nuts.
That's a true riot.
It's nuts.
Now part of the riot would be doing it for Instagram or TikTok. But
seems that way.
I fully believe it. Oh yeah, for sure. Like if someone was like hanging off a light pole, I don't know, drinking a beer, a lot of them are being filmed because they're doing it for TikTok. But back then, it was just rabid. Hockey, well, a lot of it wasn't. I shouldn't say hockey fans because that's an embarrassment what a lot of them did. But, that was a riot. That was violence that caught on. and it was chaos. I shouldn't say all violence, just chaos.
It was fucking chaos.
People
dude.
running on top of cars.
Chaos.
Yeah, it was in the moment.
It was
None of that was for
fucking
TikTok.
chaos.
It was right before social media
there
was
no,
happening, but
there was no
really,
TikTok at the
Yeah.
time.
just Facebook.
It was nuts. It was nuts. And
Downtown
the only
erupted.
thing that you maybe had was like maybe Instagram or Facebook or
That
something
was just
like
starting.
that.
No one was thinking. There was no
It was
Instagram
just
stories.
starting. Exactly.
Instagram was pictures of you and your
It was
family.
nuts, dude.
Yeah.
It was nuts. I wasn't allowed to like cops were in front of the place that I was in. They wouldn't let me leave.
How
Like,
long?
they were like-
When did you? So that was 2010, right? When? How long were you in Vancouver?
That was, it was 2011, I believe.
11, was it?
Yeah. It was the year that, like, literally the Canucks went to the finals, and we also won Canada Gold.
And
it was amazing. It was
the Canucks
amazing.
that year.
The best time,
regular
the
season.
best time to be in Vancouver was then. Like, no question.
Sid the Kid.
Vancouver, fucking Sid the Kid putting that fucking puck in. There was nothing better than walking through the streets with like American cops, everyone. It didn't even matter.
The women won it like 2 hours before that.
Like,
remember?
high-fiving each other, like it was the best.
I don't remember how much before, but wasn't it the same day the women won? I think it was the same day.
I don't think the women won that day. No,
maybe it was the day before.
No.
There was a lot happening, and there was a lot of.
There was.
I remember the women because I remember Tessa coming out with a cigar, and I remember the celebration.
The women didn't win that day. The men won that day. I do know that.
And then the women would have win after, maybe. I remember it being a crazy celebration for both. I got them lumped in together with me. But
I know.
Every day there was a celebration because bobsledders were winning.
It was the
you know
best.
what I mean? Like skiers. I guess it was in Vancouver, and but I remember us winning more than we normally do at the Winter Olympics.
Do you know what I loved was that every single bar, and I was working at a few of them. Everyone had to get a big screen TV, like out front. They had to, or else you were like kind of out of business.
It seemed like and remember, there was a lot of.
It was just it was in your best interest.
Drinking though, but there was a lot of drinking. Like, normally you watch the Olympics, you don't remember the athletes and everything chugging beers. Forget the luge guy, but he was.
So I would look out my balcony, and I was looking down on the Olympic. They called it. I don't know what they called it, but like it was one of the
Olympic
areas that they would give all the medals to people. So like 4 o'clock, 4 p.m. No, I know, but okay. So 4 p.m. there was a huge ceremony all the time. And I would sit there out on my balcony and watch it. And it was the coolest fucking thing, man.
Was it in February?
Like my dad, I remember calling my parents and being like, this is on TV. Like, this is on live TV. And we would, we'd rap about it a little bit and that was that. But what a great time. Like, so good.
McD, I got to take off. My daughter is soccer now.
I know. I saw your daughter walk in.
Yeah, she just walked in, and it's getting towards.
Hey, Penny Lane.
The end of her season. Hey, Penny Lane.
Score me a goal tonight.
Yeah, she's got her. So she's got her pods on. She goes. It's funny. Like she takes me right to the word. Like because she asked me how to prepare for games. Sometimes I'm like, well, you can do whatever you want. But I said like. Here's what you should eat, like, and this many hours before, just something to this, a little bit of macaroni, maybe a little bit of pasta, a little bit of protein. Here's some snacks that'll help you, right? During the game, better to eat protein, a bite of a protein, or banana, an orange, then a sandwich, little obvious things. And I said, usually if I have a game, I like before it, especially in the morning, if it's at night, I get up and get my legs going a bit. I go, that's what like pregame skate is. That's when in soccer, when Christine Sinclair was interviewed and she says, we go and warm up the day off. I go, that's not like right before the game. She's talking about 10 in the morning for a later game. So Penny Lane puts her stuff on, goes outside, goes through her whole warm up, get the blood flow going, puts her earpiece to it. Like it's almost like it's nice to see as a parent, but it's really respectable. Like, because I don't force anything on her. I'm not that parent that say, you better, and I think I get more, just like the music. I don't force anything on her, but I pepper it into her life, and I'm here, and she knows that if she needs a question on sports or music, there's a good authority right here, but I'm not jamming it down her throat. So when she came to me and said, like, how should I prepare? I knew she was half serious about it. But now she right to the letter, like she'll do exactly. So I'm like, look, here's some things that.
So is she in the room eating macaroni and fucking listening to like a mental podcast?
She does a lot. If she's got an earlier game like today, she'll have bagels and a banana, maybe some fruit to take with. If the game is past supper time, we'll have that at supper time, chicken and macaroni and cheese or something, or maybe a little bit of spaghetti.
Okay.
And she always goes through that warm up, and she's got her thing now. She watches soccer highlights, like usually top goals for like maybe 5 minutes or 10 minutes while she's putting her cleats on. And I'm watching and this will be her ritual, right? Like, because now she's at it every day. And I didn't tell her a lot of this stuff. She does a lot of like the getting your legs going and the eating right and the time to eat, I think, are fairly universal, right? And if you're going to eat during the game, there could be better. There could be a Gatorade gel pack. But I know that an orange works. I know an orange works, and it's worked forever. It worked for gladiators in Rome. It worked for me. It worked for Saku Koivu. It worked for Shane Corson. I watched it in the room. First time I picked it up, I couldn't believe it. I remember being in the NHL exhibition before periods going, Jesus, why didn't I think of that? Like fucking orange, I remember thinking like creatine was coming in and all these powders and and what do I take? Supplements were really taking off in the late 90s. And I remember the guys just going, some stuff's old school. I don't think that having 6 beers the day before a game is necessarily great now, looking back, but everybody did it kind of but one thing that I know works is oranges are good in between periods. If I'm down, and there could be something a little bit better, but I know oranges are good.
Oranges are good.
If you're tired, sleep. If you're thirsty, water, Gatorade. These things are probably help you, right? Not beer, not coffee, right? There's things that are universals. Anyway,
you're hilarious.
So she's just kind of starting that. Well, when you're 10, I'm not going to force it. She's 13 now, playing in the odd 15 game. She's getting called up. She's going to these camps with.
She seems to be doing very well.
She is. They get a good for she's on the provincial team, and a lot of her friends from Mount Pearl are on it, and they're just added a lot, and so much so that these things I figure can't hurt her.
Like soccer must be a year-round game now, is it not?
Yeah, I often say to her, when I played, we won the Atlantics. Like we were good soccer players, but most of us, it was a secondary sport. We played hockey, and as soon as it was over,
I did
just play hockey till April, and then maybe when we ever got knocked out, pick up the cleats, pick up the baseball glove. But it's not like that anymore. Newfoundland soccer really changed their. We were good athletes, but now it's very she goes.
Yeah, you guys were always really good.
All winter, her Mount Pearl team practices and her provincial team. They might have a game for 8 months, but all winter on Tuesdays and Saturdays, they go down to the complex there and they work and they work and they work on strength, on foot speed. And again, so the amateur championship, the Holy Cross from Newfoundland just won it. For the women's division, the 20 plus.
Not to be.
We just know we won.
Holy Cross won.
Our 16 and under just won the nationals. I think it was in boys, could have been girls. I saw.
So,
well, the reason that we used to lose so much, one thing's population, but if you don't play as much as everybody else, it's like baseball. Why are the best teams? You can look at the major leaguers that come, but look right down to the Little League World Series. It's always Glace Bay, Nova Scotia, because they're going down to play in the States all winter and they're practicing.
Yeah.
Right? We're decent for athletes, but we'll get smoked usually by them or, BC's and other.
No. Fucking Glace Bay. Jesus.
Well,
But,
I just know because I remember running into them. We were the best in Newfoundland at baseball.
I would always
them. It was two different.
Played
two
in
different
provincials all the time against Glace Bay. They were the hot ticket.
Teams like that, largely because they're playing more and they're playing better competition. But now it might
they had
cost
mustaches too.
Yeah.
Like I remember going up to a face-off and looking at the guy and being like, "How the fuck old are you?" He's like, "Fuck you."
I used to say that to everybody.
I mean?
That's intimidating when you're in Pee Wee. I remember being in Pee Wee and Bantam, going to guys, if you can grow a mustache, fucking grow it. Grow it. Because teams get intimidated. I used to. If I saw a guy with a mustache, he just seemed tough.
They all had it. In fact, this is the best. Do you ever have a shower situation where your parents are waiting for you and maybe I shouldn't share this, but they're just walking out of the room and walking into the other, into another room, and girls are just going in like crazy. I'm like, this is high school. What the fuck? What the actual shit? And I'm watching it all happen, and our fucking coach, who was our principal, I'm pretty sure he was. He was just like, all right, let's go. What
do you mean, like after a game?
Yeah.
Oh, in high school, I see what you mean.
Yeah. High school hockey in the East Coast.
Oh yeah,
is way different than it is.
Way different. There's people here that don't even play All-Star. They play high school. High school here.
I negated. Not that I was a big fucking player or anything, but I didn't play midget AAA to play high school hockey instead.
Yeah, if you said that in BC, they'd think you were crazy. But here is the same way.
Way better.
Every school has a high school team. Yeah. Some people move high schools just for the hockey program.
We had so many fans come out to the game. I had shit spit on me. It was the best.
That's it. They're into it. Hopefully Penny Lane gets spit on then. That's the goal. Penny Lane gets spit on. I'm just kidding. Where you get rabid fans. Look, I remember getting batteries thrown at me and thinking it was the best thing. Because it means it means I'm in the middle of something exciting.
So they're like, people fucking hate me. This is great.
On that note, do you have anything to promote other than we're doing Shoresy 2?
I mean, I've got my no, it's okay. But what I do, are we allowed to talk about what might be coming?
Yeah. So me and McD have an idea. We have an idea to do a podcast, the TR and McD Magic Hour, okay? But we need to come up with a plan. So here, before I go, I almost forgot to get to it.
Yeah. No, it's okay.
This is what I thought. It's got to have something. It's got to have. So anyway, I thought, here's just some ideas. People can shoot a message to me and tell me what you think. You bring 3 things, I bring 3 things. So maybe one album, one movie or a TV show, one sports topic, and then talk about it every time. So today, I guess I talked a little bit about Dan Auerbach. I don't know. We went into Third Eye Blind. Maybe next time, I'll really study that album and pick 3 songs, talk about it. I know John Prine's on it because I like the album, and I know Eddie Cochran, but there's a few more. I know that a little bit better, and I present mine.
I'm going to bring you my dad's. I'm going to bring you my dad's John Prine song. Next one or new one, whatever it is.
That's an idea. But, maybe that won't. I just came up with that. Maybe there's another.
But you love
it. People want to hear all hockey. Maybe they want to hear all Shoresy. I don't think anybody wants to hear all anything, but I don't really know. I'm talking into a mic.
Well, get at us in the chats, and tell us if this sucks. Okay, we won't do it.
The best I got is three things: one album, one like movie, TV, something to do with film, and then one sports topic. So today we talked about Matthews. I don't know. We talked about music a little bit, and we talked a little bit of Shoresy, but refine those. Like I'll have one ready to go. You don't know what mine is. I don't know what yours is. I might say,
I don't want to know.
Bob Dylan, Blood on the Tracks. Here's why I like it. You might know it a little bit. You can chime in. Now you might say, White Zombie. I don't know, Dragula. Tell me what, or
Dragula.
Rob, but you know what I mean. You might say something that I'm not totally up to date with, right? Maybe I know it, maybe I don't. But you let me know.
Okay.
And then we do that again on the sports and again on the movie.
I love it all.
That's my idea. Get back to us soon. If you have any other ideas for segments, it's going to be the TR and McD Magic Hour. Of course, next week I'm in Buffalo, but I will try. I'm going to bring my computer.
I'm going to drive down and see you.
Well, I guess not far, right? How far is Buffalo from Toronto, for those that don't know? It's really close.
I think.
That's all, right? That's all you're going, maximum.
Yeah.
And it's not one of these crazy borders that people are traveling an awful lot.
No.
It's almost like it's so fast, it's like going to a toll booth. Really, really quick. I mean, there's borders that aren't. For some reason, I go through that one a lot. A lot of Torontonians go to watch the Sabres, or better yet, the Buffalo Bills. So I guess they're used to a lot of traffic. I don't know what it is, but it seems like a really convenient. And not only that, I've been at a lot of border crossings that you can tell you're in another country, but like a lot of Buffalo, they've all been to Toronto. You go to Buffalo, and it's almost like one big area. It's included, like Niagara. When I think Niagara, I include Buffalo, New York, and it's a lot of the same traffic.
It's so beautiful there. I love Niagara.
It's such an area, man.
Oh my God!
It's hard.
I've only been there, I think, twice, maybe, but like
because I think people only think Niagara Falls. They don't think of the whole area. And then there's like the lake. There's the Buffalo side.
Jano lives there.
Yeah, Jordan Nolan, who plays one of the gyms.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I'll reach out to him through. Thanks for reminding me of that. I forgot that he lived right there in Niagara. I always think Sault Ste. Marie for the boys, but no, he lives down there.
No, he lives there.
Brandon now lives in Toronto too.
Yeah, Brandon's in. Well, I'm not to give it away.
Well, there. I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to wait for some feedback. What we got so far is 3 topics: album, film, sports. If anybody has any better ideas, please let me know, or McD.
Please do.
Where can they find you on Instagram, McD?
At Ryan McDonell. Everyone misspells my last name, but it's McDonnell. So that's.
And I often give it a double N. Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
It's spelled so many different ways, and there's also the 2 N's and 1 L.
It happens.
It happens. So there, shoot one of us a note.
I've never ever had my last name spelled correctly. So.
Oh, really? Interesting.
I'm just used to it. Yeah.
I can see that.
Fine.
Well, there it is. The TRMT Magic Hour, hopefully coming to you guys soon. Just get back to me. Let me know what you think, and if that's a decent idea for segments. Thanks for joining us today. If you're in downtown St. John's, why not drop by for a beer at the Bull and Barrel, Trinity Pub, TJ's Pub, Rob Roy Confusion, Greensleeves, or the Martini Bar. If you're going to have a bite to eat, why not do it at Merchant Tavern or Blue on Water? And, of course, if you're in the East End over around Elizabeth Avenue or thereabouts, go to Wedgwood Cafe with my buddy Peter Wedgwood. Great chef, great person. Drop in. If you want to change your life and work out for strength and balance in the body and mind, Rope Walk Lane, Power Conditioning. If you want to go to Mr. Lube, there's 2 locations right now in St. John's, Newfoundland. One is on Torbay Road. One is on Kenmount Road. Live, laugh, lube. Pitbull Pain Relief, the pain sticks that just don't quit. PitbullPainRelief.com. Check it out. See what all the fuss is about. True Hockey. Take what's yours. Folks, I'll be back in just a few days with Jason Greger, and I really will be, barring another incident of food poisoning, but I'll be back with Jason in just a few days. Catch you on the rebound.